How's it going, everyone? Welcome to another Football for Fun video. I am Daniel. I am a Texans fan, and as the title indicates, I will be reacting as a Texans fan to the Nick Chubb signing that is assumed to be happening. I'm actually recording this late Sunday night, and the reports are that he is going to sign with us, assuming on Monday, that is, assuming he passes the physical and everything like that. So hopefully when I put it out, it'll still be, accurate. If for some reason it falls through or something, then that'll be awkward. Might have to delete the video or something. But before I get into it, if you like this content, you like these types of videos, please feel free to subscribe to our channel. We just got to 100. We're very proud of that, and we're trying to play to the traction. All right, so about Nick Chubb, I think as a Texans fan, I'm really excited about the move. I would say cautiously optimistic though. And for those of you who don't know, which if you don't know, you're probably living under a rock at this point, but Nick Chubb 2 to 3 years ago was one of the best running backs in the league. The last good season he had was in 2022. He rushed for like 1,500 yards and 12 touchdowns. Unfortunately, his 2023 campaign was basically ended abruptly by a gruesome knee injury. And then in 2024, he kind of came, late because he was still recovering and then also was ended early there. So he does have a recent injury history, which is concerning. But I also do like the upside, so we're given the circumstances. I like having Joe Mixon as the bell cow #1 running back, and then Nick Chubb as maybe your guy for like third or fourth down, goal line, things like that. I think like Nick Chubb is kind of like the more like kind of like power runner, like he just kind of like powers through the guys. He can kind of wiggle and like find ways to like get through. Whereas maybe Joe Mixon is more of the guy you're expecting more like explosive plays from and things like that. So I do like the fit. I like the fact that we got another veteran in the Texas running back room, which I guess is kind of, kind of means that Dameon Pierce's days are numbered is what I'm trying to say. Um, and at this point I think he'll either be traded or cut and things like that. Dameon Pierce, by the way, is the epitome of the shelf life of a running back being just 2 to 3 years. Dameon Pierce had a really good rookie season in 2022. But then ever since then, he's just been relegated to, you know, a backup running back, and technically on our roster he's like a third string running back. So which is really unfortunate and kind of sad for him. And also it is kind of tough to think of like a team that would really need him. If you were to go to a different team, he'd probably be a backup running back at best, honestly. I think most teams have their running back position settled. But anyway, no, I really like the move. I like kind of like the sort of potential chemistry that could sort of like take place between Joe Mixon, Nick Chubb, the entire team, things like that. One other thought I will have is that I do think it is more common in the league to have like a 1-2 punch rather than just a #1. Like you're seeing with a lot of these teams. Obviously, I think the most notorious example is the Detroit Lions with Jahmyr Gibbs and David Montgomery. But you have other examples. Like last year, you had the Chargers with J.K. Dobbins and Gus Edwards. And I think this year they're rolling Najee Harris and whoever they drafted. Did they draft Hampton or am I completely crazy? But anyway, you have them. You have teams like Carolina who has they have Chuba Hubbard, and they have another guy from the Cowboys. I don't remember his name. It's not Deuce Vaughn. It's not Tony Pollard. Is it Tony Pollard? I don't think so. No, he was a rookie last year or the year before. I don't know. I sorry, Isaac. I don't remember your other your other running backs' names. But anyway, all this to say, like Zach Charbonnet and Kenneth Walker. You see a lot of these teams adopting just like 1-2 punches rather than just having a clear #1 back, which I think is smart because again, the shelf life for the running back is so much lower. It's gonna be good for Joe Mixon to kind of have that like kind of that load off his plate. Nick Chubb kind of comes in. I'm just hoping that like Nick Chubb is gonna be like consistently healthy for the whole year, or at least for most of it. I feel like best case scenario, I will say I don't think this really changes our like win-loss record or anything like that. I think but I think best case scenario as far as production goes is well, actually I'll say worst case I think is that he maybe plays a couple games but then gets injured, is in and out of the lineup, and he's just kind of like, just really a non-factor, and we forget that he exists going to the playoffs. But I think best case scenario is that he kind of produces as the solid number 2 running back. He kind of contributes on like third and fourth down, goal line, things like that. I saw some like highlight plays before this that I think he was also a little bit involved in the passing game a little bit, which I'd have to check the actual stats on that. But, if he kind of, has that little sort of, like specialty, that would be pretty interesting. But yeah, no, those are kind of my comprehensive thoughts. I mean, given that all the news and rumors broke today, like it's not, it's the off season, so like really wrapping my head around like our second string running back, like it's kind of crazy that I'm doing it, but that is what we are here to do. It is football for fun. So I hope you enjoyed this reaction. Let me know what you think in the comments. And again, if you like these videos, feel free to like, comment, and subscribe. And we would greatly appreciate it, and it will help motivate us to put out more videos. I mean, we are football for fun. We just talk about just fun football content. We're not professionals or anything like that. So yeah, stay tuned for the next video. Peace.